let us call to order. And Ginger, I guess first we have our inspirational quote.
The quote or a reading.
Either one.
Alright, so this is from San County Almanac. Maybe you have read this. This is an environmental classic by Aldo Leopold, who was a wildlife biologist up in Wisconsin. So it's called The Land Ethic. So I'll try to make this short. So he starts talking about, he says, when godlike Odysseus returned from the wars of Troy, he hanged all in 1 dozen slave girls of his household, whom he suspected of misbehavior during his absence. The hanging involved in no question of propriety. The girls were property. Disposal of property was then as now a matter of expediency, not of right and wrong. Concepts of right and wrong were not lacking in Odysseus' time.
Jim, could you slow down a little bit and get a little bit louder?
Concepts of right and wrong were not lacking in Odysseus' Greece. Witness the fidelity of his wife through the long years before at last his black-owned proud galleys clove the wine-dark seas. He talks about the ethical structure of that time covered lives, but had not yet been extended to human chattels. So he goes on, the extension of ethics, so far studied only by philosophers, is actually a process in ecological evolution. Its sequences may be described in ecological as well as philosophical terms. An ethic, ecologically, is a limitation on freedom of action and the struggle for existence. An ethic, philosophically, is a differentiation of social from antisocial conduct. These are two definitions of one thing. The thing has its origin in the tendency of interdependent individuals or groups to evolve modes of cooperation. The ecologist calls these symbioses. Then he goes on, there is no as yet ethic dealing with man's relation to land and to the animals and plants which grow upon it. Land, like Odysseus' slave girls, is still property. The land relation is economic, entailing privileges but not obligations. And then finally he says, all ethics so far rest upon a single premise, that the individual is a member of a community of interdependent rights. The land ethic simply enlarges the boundaries of the community to employ soils, water, plants, and animals, or collectively the land. In short, a land ethic changes the role of Homo sapiens from conqueror of the land community to plain member and citizen of it. It implies a respect for his fellow members and also respect for the community as such.
Thank you, Jim. And Ginger, you would take attendance.
Okay, Rory,
Yes.
Ginger, I'm here. Debbie, Jeannie, here. Laura, here. Teresa,
Here.
Corin,
No, Corin.
Corin.
See if he's texting.
Jim,
Here.
and Emily,
Here. She's
here. Okay, and Yvonne, here. And then James Boyd is no, it's gonna be David Bogless now, right?
I was thinking
Yes.
David would be here.
He's off today. He's out of town.
He did mention that, okay. Okay, so.
Here is an email from Corin. Sorry, he's not gonna make it down with a cold. Hope to make it with the mask, but hopefully something. Let the commission know that the cities follow up. I will talk about that when we get to dark skies. So I make a move to approve the minutes from last month.
Second.
So Jim, in Corin's absent, would you be the timekeeper?
Sure.
And most of our topics should be, in the 5-7 minute range
So we're basically targeted to end at 6. Right. Do you have a spare copy of the agenda?
of the agenda.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of do. So, we have a visitor with us, John Wagner.
Mhm.
Who needs to get to another meeting, so he's gonna introduce himself and speak first. And
Well, thank you. Again, my name is John Wagner. I'm the, as of, this is the start of my 5th week as the Director of Planning and Development at Webster Groves. So I'm very happy to be here. I have a strong environmental background, so this part anyway fits right into what I enjoy. So I'm here to talk about the Dark Skies proposal. And there was a letter dated September 30th, 2025, of course, that I wrote to Dr. People. And it was an evaluation of some of the stuff that you guys put together. I'd be happy to answer any questions anybody has. I mean, it lined up really well with with some of the couple of parts of the comprehensive plan, which was nice. And I talked a little bit about how to implement the new ordinance and the process that it would take when the city manager and the city council, of course, would like it to go forward, if they would like it to go forward. So I had a recommendation that it would be worthwhile moving forward on the proposal. And at that, if they did that, and when it does that, then it would go to the plan commission first, then to the city council.
So I'll speak for Corin, that's Corin's been really spearheading that work and
Okay.
he's not here. So last meeting, we had David Bookless and he said that he and Corin could work on that. And when I got your letter and the email from Dr. Peoples, and I sent it to Corin and said, did you, I didn't know you had resubmitted it. And he said he didn't, but he thinks maybe David did.
Resubmitted.
He thinks that maybe you got how he had, from the first submission, we got feedback of what needed to be addressed.
Right.
And Corin was working on that, but not finished. And he shared that in-process copy with David.
Okay, that must have been, maybe that was the one dated August 5th. I believe there were 2 of them, August 1st and I believe August 5th. I had the dates in here. Yeah. So, but yeah, but it even, I mean, when it starts going through the process, if it starts going through the process, it will, you know, the legislation will take shape as the process evolves, basically.
Can I ask a question? So I went to the dark sky presentation, the report was there. Can you maybe outline what's in the proposed ordinance just sort of quickly?
I think that would be a Corin question.
Okay,
Yeah, and I
Okay.
looked at it and that kind of, but I didn't memorize it.
all right.
I mean, one of the most important things is, I'm sorry, Jim,
Waiting for Fred.
is how it would be implemented. The first rule in public policy is you probably shouldn't pass along unless you know you can actually implement it and enforce it. So how that would look is probably one of the more important aspects of what the ordinance would look like.
I did speak with Corin this past week. I will tell you that he was very happy that this is moving forward. That's
Well, that part's up to the city manager.
got it.
So,
Yes.
yeah, I'm not saying
That's
it's
moving forward from what we last heard. So
Yeah. I mean,
For us,
my
it's-
recommendation was, I think it'd be worthwhile to move forward. But I do that at the direction of the city manager and the city council. So I do what she asked me to do. So it would be incorrect to say, yes, it's moving forward. It'll move forward when the city manager says, okay, John, do something about it now.
okay, being considered.
Thank you. I think that's a good way.
It's the right way to say it. He's very happy about that. And I think that the reasoning behind doing it at all is something that we've all discussed and think is good. So I'm glad that, you know, it's at a stage that's a little bit further than it was. Thank you.
And here's what Corin said in his email. Let the commission know that the city's follow-up letter has signaled support, which John has just said. And it's now called Responsible Lighting Initiative. There are a few intervening steps to take before it will be considered. But that he doesn't have much more to say than that. So I know he's working on it, and I know that he did not feel that the recommendations were particularly cumbersome or out of reach, that he felt like it was reachable.
Still doing that with the Sustainability Commission as well.
When he is ready to submit it, we are to alert the Sustainability Commission, let them read it, and their plan is to write a letter.
And my understanding of where things are now is that nothing is currently needed from the commission at this time. We can kind of sit tight. That the kind of city staff have, I think, what they need at this point in time. And there's some decisions and direction that's needed probably from council next on how best to proceed. And that, as was said earlier, that the plan commission would be the next step, were this to move forward. So right now we just hang tight. We don't need to do another round or draft or anything like that at this time.
Thank you, Emily.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can leave whenever you need to leave.
Okay, thank you. I might stick around for the.
So I will circulate this as a card for James Boyd for his being our staff liaison, and it's the State of Missouri Native Flowers and Plants. So you can sign the card, and I brought cookies to welcome David. Oh, that's please up here. We have a napkin, oh, and a few cookies for James. And these are gluten-free, Teresa. Perhaps someday there'll be a consultation on eating gluten-free. They came out so help yourself.
We have to do that all the time in my house, gluten-free and dairy-free. So, yeah, loads of fun.
Well, it keeps you thinking.
If we're lactose.
So
We smell the weeds.
an important thing to bring up is we are in need of a new recording secretary, because Ginger, after who knows how many years, you probably remember,
Years.
Ginger is ready to relinquish that. So if anyone has like a strong, like, yeah, I can do that, you can start today. If not, I'll do the minutes from today, and you can think about it, but long term, I don't think that I can be recording secretary. So take your time.
If you folks don't mind, I think I might still can get a job on the meeting. It's a pleasure to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. Welcome to the staff. See you. I will some of the minutes, guys. It's really not hard. And the minutes, they're recorded, so I go on YouTube. Recording, and so I'm following my notes, and then I'm adding things that I missed. So it's not hard. I just can't. Anybody's worried about it being like awful, it's really not.
If you can take a look at my notes at the end of this meeting and tell me if that looks like what we're going for. And if so, then I'll volunteer.
Thank you for I will pass this around, it's not on our agenda, but you might have noticed the sign out front of the building. There is an upcoming Thursday, October 16th, 5:30 to 7:30 open house here at the rec center about the proposed Shady Creek Greenway, I think is the whole name. Great Rivers Shady Creek Greenway. So I'll pass it around, you can just jot that down if you don't know it, or take a picture of it if you wanna look on the back. I went to the link for the article and the link for the newscast, and I just did a tiny copy and paste. It's a 0.36 mile route between Elm and Gore that would serve as a connection between the Larson Park and the Rainy Davis Park. And the open open house. It's a collaboration between Webster Groves and Great Rivers Greenway. And if it is constructed, it will be the second greenway in Webster. The other is the 3.5 mile Deer Creek Greenway. So, yes, that. Okay. And then, Laura, anything you would like to update us about trees of distinction?
We had another nomination. So that was good. And also I noticed that it did make it into the Inside Webster Groves. That's the one in the Webster Berkeley Time, the monthly. So that's good. I don't know, I have not connected to the Friday page. So I don't know if anyone is and noticed it, if it had been updated or if there'd been a blurb in the Friday page.
I didn't open mine. I don't know.
Because I somehow got unsubscribed and I tried to resubscribe last week and it immediately like gave me a message that I was subscribed and then immediately said unsubscribed. So I don't know if I should just, yeah, like who I should contact to get resubscribed to the Friday page. I guess
I would just try City Hall and
call them and ask whoever answers the phone. Okay. So yeah, I'd like to,
You can email me too, Laura, and I'll get it to the right person.
oh, okay, I'll do that
If you
then.
want. Yeah, that's fine.
Thanks.
We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
so
So-
one nomination.
Yeah, one more, we have two, and so I guess I was hoping, once I get resubscribed, I'll see if it's running, if it runs more than once, and if not, I'll maybe email Jordan again and copy you and Yvonne to ask if it can run again, just to get the word out, and then I'll probably put something in the Community Connect on Facebook, also too. Thank you. Hopefully get some more, I know we'll get more nominations, but.
So we'll be going into this in a little bit. There's a new policy that we're not supposed to contact staff. So we need to ask Yvonne
Okay,
or David Bookless to contact Jordan.
okay,
So you would send your request to them and then they could just forward it as is.
okay.
Is that your, as far as I know, and then he did take care of that spelling change, right?
Yeah, I saw that email, thank you, yeah. Yeah, no problem, I'll do that.
Thank you. A little update on Tree Star. Last month, I suggested that we consider nominating Carrie. And I rethought, and I think we should nominate, just like we did, Emily and her husband who had previously served on the Green Space. So we had two people last Arbor Day. I think we should do Carrie and Jim. Because Jim served for many years on Green Space.
Which Joe's that?
Joe?
Joe.
Oh, Joe, yeah, I think that would be good.
I'm sorry.
I think that would be good. I like
Okay. Because I think we already did.
that. No.
So I'm afraid if we wait on, just do one and wait,
Yeah,
then the other one will be less meaningful because it will be so much further away. So, any discussion about that? Everyone?
well, did, Yvonne, sometimes you have people that is there anyone like that you feel,
That's
Teresa,
who I.
that's who you want? Okay. I just wanted to make sure you didn't have someone else that you felt needed to be recognized.
I think of somebody. Those two favorite choice.
Well, and Yvonne also recommended little honorary and a gift card.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't saying no to them. I was just saying I wanted to make sure there wasn't someone that might need to be
Also
recognized sooner.
considered.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an article in the Webster Kirkwood Times, a man in Kirkwood is like 3,000 hours into honeysuckle.
Wow.
Also, Yvonne, if you know anyone on that hill. That's posted.
Okay.
That's impressive.
So at this point, we're looking at Joe and Carrie.
Okay.
So next we have and I have printed 4 copies of the most current position statement.
It should be the same one that you all received.
Right.
With the addition of I spelled Emily's name wrong, so that has been corrected, but other than that, no, that is the one with the correct, never mind. That never happened.
was-
I don't know.
Is that an H?
Just saw something I didn't catch.
No, this is not the same one. There's an F and there's an H that are missing. Shh. Hixon is Hixson and Shepherd has an H before the ERD at the end. But it's been fixed. So anyway, okay, well, I think everybody has heard from me more than they wanted to. I wanted to make sure that I collected as much feedback as I could. Corin and Teresa came over, we looked at everything and sort of put it into a state. Debbie, thank you so much. She has lots of editing experience and was an English teacher for 21 years, so I leaned in on that one. So, yeah,
So can I ask some
of
questions?
course, yeah.
Okay, so we started off, this is a basically position statement. This is
It is.
the idea, it's the space there.
Yeah.
Between.
Our new edits.
Okay, and then it ends on I guess page 3 with conclusion.
Yeah.
That is the position statement.
That's correct. The rest of it is internal. Let me give just a little bit of background.
This though wasn't clear to me how, I mean, I think there needs to be something that indicates what this other stuff is.
The other stuff was internal. So the whole reason that we're doing this is the last time we all talked, you know, we pulled out the Webster Forever plan and started talking about edits to it. And editing the Forever Webster plan is not within our purview. We're not going to be able to do it. But we wanted to talk to the feedback that we've received on needing to align ourselves with the plan and be supportive of the plan. I think it's a good thing to sort of ground ourselves in what we're trying to do to sort of stay on track with what we're trying to do within this group. And so the point of this was partially, you know, so we have a statement that we can share with anyone who's interested in what it is that we're doing, how it does align to the Forever Webster plan, and to give that to, you know, Yvonne and James or the council or the mayor, or anybody who would need to speak to this, to what we're doing. It's a broad topic. The reason that, so I asked Laura, sorry, Jeannie. You're on my brain.
Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. To give me some of our documents that we've been working with, the roadmap, the budget, you know, of course, the plan was part of this. And to sort of synthesize all of that into a larger view of things. But, and one of the things that I went to was the city code and how it describes us, how it describes sustainability, you know, what the differences are, how that filters into the plan, and come up with hey, this is what we're doing. You know, this is the purpose of this. And these are the activities that we're pursuing right now. This is how they align with the Forever Webster plan. And in the end, I sort of added a conclusion because there are things that we've talked about that are in there as well, but we're not necessarily doing them right now. And I've been a big advocate of our ability to, you know, track the activities of our volunteers and find meaningful ways to recognize them. That's a different, but so that all sort of comes in here. So that's the framework for this, to have that sort of standalone document. And I don't think our current budget or the code, I do footnote them on this first page. So if anybody wanted to got an electronic copy and wanted to click on it, they would see those things, but they're really not core to the point of having this statement. So.
So I just wanna say, I think it's excellent, and I think your turnaround time in 1 month. That was just this meeting a month ago, we said maybe we should have a position statement. I think is incredible, impressive.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
I think it's well done.
I'm
Well,
impressed. that you
thank
can
you
get
all for
five.
the feedback, I was, you know, that's what.
I mean, I looked through it, I mean, I think it's well put together. It says what we're here, and I think the idea is to try to say that we're supporting the forever plan. Forever Webster Brothers.
I think that section is key, which is the alignment section towards the end.
Right.
Because if you read through that, it takes the 4 focus areas of the plan and talks about it in terms of what we're doing and how they coincide. And so, again, it's as much for us internally as it is for, you know, providing something that someone would help someone explain.
Basically, it puts down what we're all about,
Yes.
why we're doing what we're doing.
And part of that is just me being a new person here. I mean, I've got the better part of this year under my belt, but still, you know, I'm one of those people who ask the questions of why we're doing this and what we're trying to do, and it's all out there. It just wasn't, you know, succinct like this, so. Anyway, and importantly, and I think I did get that in here somewhere, that we would update this. You know, it's a living document, like the Forever Webster plan is. It has targets to it, and has areas of focus which probably won't change. But when I last spoke to Sean Finnegan about it, she said, we're not doing all of those things all at once. And I said, well, that makes sense, because you would have no time to do anything else, and you would not be able to do those. So there are things that we're actually contributing on behalf of the city through the work that we're doing that fill in, you know, to that, but there was no formal way that we were sort of tying it in. So that's part of what this is too. So we're finding edits as we sit here. Lots of typos and spaces and things that I've seen.
Instead of reading on the screen.
Hey, it is sometimes difficult when you've read through it a few times, your mind puts the space in.
So is this now basically for us, or does this go anywhere?
Well, that's the part of the discussion I wanted to have, because it's definitely for us, and with the expanded, you know, I mean, I'll read through it once in a while when I say, what am I doing? What are we trying to achieve? And I've already gotten some good feedback. I think I had a little back and forth with you on you know, some things that weren't here, but would be good to be here, you know, and one of them was sort of budget related, which I know that Emily last time we talked said, you know, it's a budget, you know, if you all needed more, you could apply for it. If you overspend a line a little bit, you know, and underspend another one, that's not going to be an issue. So it's sort of that, but I wanted to make note of the things that you said because they're good. You also mentioned that the dark skies, which was throughout this, wasn't necessarily going to be dark skies anymore. And it was the impetus for me to look at it and say, okay, do we need to name the initiative in here or just a reason for it? So most throughout here, it says, it generically references you know, the effort as to what it is and the reasoning behind it. I'm looking for the exact words in here, but if you read through it, it's more an initiative to address the issues behind dark skies.
I have a quick talking point. So we had chosen to write 2 years is how often we wanted to revisit it, is that correct? I wonder if we wanna bring that to the table and make sure everybody's comfortable with that amount of time.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, it'll be easier to, you know, update this than it will be the plan itself, but the plan itself says that it would be updated every 2 years.
Yeah.
By sustainability, not us. Or someone on staff.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. I just thought since that was a point that will affect everyone in the future, we should just make sure everybody is okay with that number.
And the kinds of things that I would say that we might update is the current programs and activities, you know, so if we're doing something that really leans in on that, and then how that aligns, and so it, you know, that we have the opportunity to do so. We could also say, we love it, we're never changing it again.
Yeah.
You know, 2 years from now, we can come to that conclusion, but yes,
Yeah. We'll revisit in 2 years and everybody's cool.
you know,
Okay, I'm writing it.
thank you.
So Emily, if you could weigh in, it is my understanding that when these last edits from today, from tonight, get in, that Rory should send it to you and Yvonne and David, or just David
Probably at CC.
and CC Yvonne, to be added to the cloud. Is that correct?
So
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, so that we can get it saved out there. Yeah, you can definitely do that for the saving of it. Do you also want it to go to city council, or do you just want to keep it internal to green space?
I think it would be nice to go to city council so that Mayor Arnold knows that we heard her in May when she said we should be following forever Webster Groves. And that we've responded, not only heard it, but responded.
So I think for that, I think that email can come from you, you know, as the chair or chair and co-chair to city council with like a little, you know, intro email and the attachment. And then if you send it to the city council email address, Katie will add it to all of our packets. So everybody on council will receive it that way.
Where would I get that city council email address?
I can send it to you or it's online. I think it's just citycouncil@webstergrovesmo.gov, but I'll confirm it and send it your way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So if you send me the final copy,
Yes.
then I'll take care of sending it to Emily, David, CCing Yvonne to get it in the cloud and send it to city council so they know that it exists.
That's perfect, and I'll do a draft and then you can tweak it as you would like to sort of give the context of why we're sharing this.
I don't feel like I need to have the tweet for you. You've done a stellar
If
job.
the email's coming from you, you tweak it as you need to, but I'd just like to, if we're going to share it, say this is what it is and this is why we're sharing it. Do you think that it should go back to Mayor Arnold as well? I can't
The
remember.
city council email goes to all 7 of us, including the mayor.
Okay, got it, thanks.
Mhm.
Is there anyone else on staff or? Is it David in the bottom?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to copy, if you're sending something to city council, you can copy Dr. Peoples, you can copy Katie Nakazano.
Okay.
If you want to copy the city attorney, Neil Bruntrager, you can, but as long as you get it to the city council email, Katie will forward it to anybody who also needs it.
Okay,
We have 23 minutes left.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions or we've got our marching orders? Good, we picked it out in 1 month.
So, I feel like we've already addressed the lighting ordinance, so now we're on page 2. And before Teresa starts with the leave the leaves update, I want to just share one thing. Our subcommittee, Teresa Corin and myself, were inventing a flyer, and then Jordan found this one. And then I think it was Yvonne reached out to Carrie, and actually they were a couple. So this is the first one that was found. So I had asked Yvonne to make 100 copies of this for me to take the 4 places, right out here, the library, Rolling Ridge, and Maypop. And when I went to Rolling Ridge, first I talked to someone, then the manager, then some higher up person. And as soon as he approached me holding this, I was like, oh, it was this. Why buy mulch? Were they so?
Yeah.
So I took them back from him, I said I will bring a different one and asked him to print this more informative one. So one of the things I want us to do as a commission is move away from these perhaps humorous, perhaps sarcastic, perhaps flippant things and go more strictly informative. Perhaps persuasive, but number one, informative. Cause I was honestly embarrassed that I'm asking him to put this in a store that sells mulch. So that's my request. So Teresa, take it away with the update, leave the leaves.
So there's that. The website is now officially updated, so you can go look at that if you want to see that. And other than that, there are more of these for $10 if anybody wants to grab them. Also, here we go. The Missouri Prairie Foundation has permanent ones you can put in your yard, and there are plenty of other options out there if you want to pick one that looks pretty to you. Other than that, I think that covers everything.
One of the things our subcommittee did is we edited what was on the website and we really tried to get the two initiatives, No Mow April and Leave the Leaves on the website to be on par. So we added a pledge to Leave the Leaves. We did add videos as well, which No Mow April doesn't have. But one of the things we did was link them. That if you leave your leaves, then you wanna not mow in April, so all the things finding habitat there hatch. So I feel like we did a good job of editing and our task for our subcommittee, but hopefully for everyone, is marketing and publicizing the initiative.
Is that something that we should have subcommittee or some discussion around ways we might go about that?
Good.
Okay.
What I've done so far is hit those 4 places that I mentioned and also wrote a letter to the editor of Webster Burger Times. It was I think it was last week's. It was smidgenly edited, but it was still fine. And in communication with Jordan, he was gonna also do his marketing.
There's any way we can help you, or there are other ways to get the message out to, I don't know, Webster University, or where, you know, if we have some connections to do it, I'm happy
I
to.
think if you put a yard sign in, that would be helpful. And if you have the comfort level to speak about it to friends and neighbors, it's often a personal approach that can make a difference.
Did we all see the response to the letter to the editor? Saw that.
Didn't,
Was it negative?
was it the same guy who responded to No Mow April?
I don't remember.
They said,
So if we leave our leaves like, you know, all over the yard, it's just gonna create
Mud.
mud and dead grass and. Which I mean, we rake ours to our flower beds and we do mulch some of the leaves, so that some of the nutrients are getting back, but. Yeah, I think he's just thinking that everybody's just gonna leave their leaves completely where they are, but he's kind of.
if you mow them, this is kind of what I do, we mow them and then just leave them on the ground and they break down faster, you know, and I don't think it really, you know. Standpoint appearance, it's not bad.
Well, in the pledge on the website really clearly goes to that, leave them where they fall. Leave them in the backyard, but not the front. Gather them and put them around trees, shrubbery, flower beds. Mow them. And ultimately shredding them, whether you leave them there or put them in a bin, still saves, they're not being bagged and driven.
We'll say we scoop ours off to the flower beds because we've got a dog. And There's.
That's very,
We could.
yeah.
Yeah.
When it rains and if it's, yeah.
You don't know what you're
Can't
gonna
find it.
Yeah.
step on out there,
Yeah.
so, but I mean, so
But it's, I think in all the information, it's
it
very,
gives you like, yeah, so many different like.
Yeah.
options, like-
you don't have to, it's not all or nothing. You don't have to, but you're comfortable
The
with.
leaves break down and
grass.
add to the soil fertility and helps the pollinators. That sort of thing. We have 16 minutes.
Okay. So here is our work task. I'll pass this one. I am going to recommend that the EcoEd subcommittee meet and start talking about that, because I think a lot of speakers need 6 to 8 months. So just to let everyone know, did you share this last month, Jim?
No.
You wanna share
Sure.
that your application?
That. Oh, yeah, well, I have applied to be on the stormwater commission because it's been formed. And so we'll see what happens. I would miss this committee a lot. I think like that's something that gives my friends this committee. I don't think, I mean, I think this is, I like the fact that they don't participate in the eco-ed things. So it's strictly stormwater, but I have some background and I thought I might be able to, and I really feel pretty strongly about certain approaches to dealing with stormwater, which is basically not all concrete and, you know, storm source and stuff, but more leaving it on the land and trying to reduce the amount of water that gets into the storm source system to begin with, which is really the best approach, as opposed to just channelizing all, you know, stuff like that. So
Is there a role you can only be on one?
what's that?
I said, is
There's no rule I can be on, but I'm also involved in the Democratic Club and some other things, so. I could stay on, you know, but we'll see, I'll say the right things.
So I've spoken with Katie, and asked how it was going with, finding a replacement commissioner for Carrie. And, she said that she didn't have any applications at this time, and I alerted her that it seemed to me very likely that Jim, as a water engineer, would be an asset to the stormwater commission, and I anticipated he would be selected. So Katie's aware that we need one and very likely 2 new commissioners. So I'll pass this around. If you wanna change, or if you wanna like add being on EcoEd, feel free to do that.
You want us to just change this one and you can
Yeah,
back to?
Yeah, you could put JKF, no, we'll go back to this.
Okay.
Um,
You're fine with anything that we said?
you could brush yourself off, yes.
I did on one so far.
Okay, so there was recently a meeting with, the mayor called a meeting with the chairs and co-chairs of each commission, and Dr. Peoples was there and the city attorney was there. Rory couldn't make it because he was attending a workshop, so I invited Jim, who joined online. And share some of that. It was a nice meeting. It was really interesting to see the collection of people. So there was an agenda, and so Jim and I are gonna have a team.
So, they talked about a lot of stuff. They had the attorney here. 2 of the things that were talked about was how we communicate with staff liaisons, and I thought you were going to talk about that. And I was going to briefly talk about sunshine law, because that's really important that we keep that in mind. We are part of Webster city government. When we have meetings, it's official, it has to be on, there has to be recordings of those minutes. And if we email everyone, it's considered to be, if I were to send out an email to all of you, that's considered a meeting. That was pointed out to me by Bonnet, pointed out, oh, I know that. But it is, you know, also, we have to keep, so that, we have to be careful about how we communicate with each other to be in conformance with the sunshine law requirements. If it's just a few of us talking, if I get together with Jeannie for lunch, we're talking about some stuff, that's not a meeting. Or if even a few of us do, but if there's, I think. We have 7 on this committee, Nine.
Supposed to be 9, we're supposed to be 9.
supposed to be 9, so 9 would be 5 people.
They finally explained it, so I could understand it,
It's
they
half-
half the group
It's
plus
about
the.
5, so a half
So
would
the
be
majority.
4.5, so you increase that, so you would have 5 would be the quorum. If you have that, it's considered, those many people on the thing, it's considered to be, as I understood it, a meeting of the commission. And there has to be an announcement ahead of time and all that sort of thing, so we have to be very careful. Or this commission has to be very careful how we communicate each other to be in conformance with those sunshine laws.
And here's an interesting detail. It's called sunshine because it's done in the open. Which is, I was always like, why not sunshine? So,
But doing BCC to everyone so they can't
That's
reply
fine.
to you,
That's
that's fine.
so you know one
Still
can
fine.
Yes,
reply
okay,
to
you
Yeah.
can do that.
So, this, was distributed. It is, boards and commission policy recommendation process, so policy and ordinances. So it's different steps, different colors. Written policy to the staff liaison, so we just kind of talked about this. What they said, and I wrote in my notes, consider including the council liaison here as well. Is that your understanding, Emily?
Yes.
So there's an effort to just have things more to protocol.
We did that in the email, like.
Yes, yeah, this was
Okay, I
not the
gonna say, I
first
feel
time
like I got it in.
to see this. So here's some other notes I took. Well, first they said to include Katie in the email and she was like, and then they said do not include Katie. She didn't want to get that many emails. So the hardest part is communication around having a forum. When discussing business, which I think Jim covered. There was a email from Dr. Peoples. Before the meeting and just today, just this afternoon, a follow-up email from Mayor Arnold. And so any requests that we have for Jordan Rowe, Public Affairs and Engagement Manager, should come from our staff liaison. So one of the things we've heard over and over is to be judicious about our use of staff time. And one of the ways that happens is through this funneling process, that I'm not reaching out to them the same time Rory's reaching out. We are taking our needs to Emily and Yvonne. The 4 things that Mayor Arnold wanted to really highlight was this review process. That's the 4th thing. There was just and there are requests for funding, which Emily, I believe, referenced earlier. If our budget is such that we need more funding, like for instance, Yvonne's suggestion to give the tree stewards a gift card. So we might need a little bit more funding for that. Or if there's a super dynamic eco-ed speaker, that they have a speaker fee. So there's a form where we can request additional funding. So here's the city's attorney is the one who talked about the sunshine law. And this cloud of submitting our finished documents, not the end process. So you wouldn't submit any of those documents of editing, but just the final one. to our staff liaison, who will put it in the cloud.
Okay, I was just trying to figure out how that, how that connected to Sunshine.
Well, if people
Well, the
want
stuff
to
has
look
to-
at their.
Oh, that is us recording for Sunshine.
Yeah. And then
Creating a trail.
submitting to Yvonne, David, Emily, that will go through you, right?
I think it would be best
Yeah.
just to have a solid protocol. I don't think we're gonna have that much to submit, and so I do think it should come through the chair. Yeah,
So I used to work for the state, we had to deal with sunshine law stuff a lot, and we had paper files. And people could basically ask for copies of anything that was in those files. And most communication now was by electronic email. And I don't know, it wasn't clear to me. What those are considered documents that are I mean, if you have a document on your computer. Well, if you send an email to everyone, and that's a document that someone could potentially ask to see at some point. And so we need to be careful when we're communicating with each other that about what you say and about how we communicate, so that if someone from the outside wants to request copies it's on a server, a city server, they can do that. Just be aware of that.
it's a public document.
It's a public document.
And if you copy, Yvonne or me on that with our city email addresses, it'll be searchable, which is a good thing. If we get a Sunshine request, it's easy to find those documents if it's already has a city email, if it's in a city email box somewhere.
Right, thank you. We have 4 minutes left.
Okay, so please consider signing up for Make a Difference Day. I put the link on our agenda. And related to that, I have 2 questions. One, Carrie forwarded me an email from Nicole Miller Strutman, who did present last year at EcoEd on bees. And she is a parent at Gibbons Elementary, and she said they need to mow and reseed the prairie this fall. And they do not have equipment to mow or hay a prairie. And I asked her how large it was, and we were emailing this morning, and she didn't answer me, but I happened to be driving near there. And I didn't case the school, but I went a little slow and I went up on the side of the building. I didn't see anything that looked like a prairie. They have a pollinator paradise and it has a sign, but maybe the prairie is part of that. So I don't know how big it is. I'd be glad to help them, but do you know how to mow and reseed a prairie?
Yeah, but it would have to come from my boss. We could need something.
Well, and
It's
also Gibbons is in
Sorry.
Rock Hill. Gibbons is technically in Rock Hill, even though it's in our school district. So we might need to partner with Rock Hill to get them what they need on that. But I think she's probably is talking about the pollinator paradise that you can see from Rock Hill, just north of the school. Mm-hmm.
Well, she differentiated them in their email. She said,
Oh,
in the past, they burned it, but this is no longer possible. Any assistance will be appreciated. We have been able to maintain. Oh, she does use pollinator paradise. Okay, I thought she was saying that was something different, but I see she uses it interchangeably.
and I know they have done a controlled burn of that pollinator paradise in the past.
She says in her email it's no longer possible.
No, I understand. Yeah, I understand. But I think it is the same place.
I'm gonna overlap with the general. We have less than 2 minutes and about 4 items on the agenda.
Right.
So can this be put on the list for Make a Difference Day?
It's in Rock Hill. I don't think I'm at liberty to set up an event.
So I need to encourage her to reach out to Raquel. Wouldn't you say, Emily?
I agree, yeah.
Okay, related to that, I had reached out to two different people I knew associated with Boy Scouts, one being Ginger, one being a friend of a friend, and her troop is willing to help with Lead the Leaves as a service project. Should I encourage them to, their Webster Groves Boy Scout troop, should I encourage them to sign up for Make a Difference Day, or is there a list of perhaps elderly Webster Groves residents who might need Boy Scouts to come help with their leaves?
I would talk to Katie Kirby about that. She might have insight.
What's her last name?
Kirby, she's the rec superintendent. Right now, I'm just setting up events in the parks. And I don't, I'm not setting up anything for private residences, but in the past, that's been done.
Is she here? CURB,
KEARB, Kirby's.
BEY.
I just think Kirby, so 6 o'clock now, but you.
Okay. Just a reminder, hopefully you can all make the meet and greet with sustainability.
I'll need another reminder right before that, just so you know, I'll need another reminder. Right before.
I'll send an email reminder a couple days in advance. I tried to have it at the library, but the time that got the most votes is already booked at the library. I talked to John Hickey about having it like in the meeting room at Llewellyn, so we felt agreed it would be too distracting and the time the waitress would be asking drinks, so we're just gonna do it at my house, and if the weather's permits, we will be outside, so bring a jacket, if not, we'll be
So they,
inside Thursday, October 23rd, 6 o'clock to 7:30. Emily, did you get that invitation?
I did, yes, thank you.
Okay. So, it will be just very informal, people introducing themselves and just to have eyes on each other. Well, it might be dark out. So- Okay, Emily, updates from you.
I'll keep it short. I think the most time sensitive one is there's an open to talk about another Prop W project coming up, or two. It's to get public input on the skate park and to get public input on a potential performance park that would be probably in the rec center area, Memorial Park area. So that's a totally new thing for us. The skate park we've had in the past, we need to rebuild it, but the performance park is all new. So that's Wednesday, October 29th, 5 to 7 at the Recplex. And we'd love to have input on those items from you all and from your friends and neighbors if you want to share that event.
Emily, what was the date?
October 29th, it's a Wednesday from 5 to 7, and it's there in the rec center.
Okay.
And if you do Facebook, the city does have an event for it on the city's website, our city's Facebook page, if you want to add that. That's all I have.
Thank you, Emily.
Sure.
I don't have anything other than Make a Difference Day, and it's on the Deer Creek Watershed Alliance Greenkeepers. And I believe James is going to make a recommendation to council on which company to pick for the tree inventory, so that should be coming up pretty soon. And then it will be awarded and then we can get started.
Is there any particular, for the Make a Difference Day, is there any place for you needs?
There's 4 events. I think the one of cleaning out the annuals, Mickey McKee usually brings a Rotarian, so that one's pretty covered, but I would think any kind of honeysuckle removal would be great. And then
Got my RSVP from the Reddit.
Yeah.
We might have closer to 20 people now, just so you know, so
that sounds
I'm
great.
bringing up.
Okay, sounds good. When it gets closer, I might ask you like what size t-shirts folks want. That's it.
So if we sign up on the link, you'll get that information.
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Oh,
Date.
sorry, that just remind me on Make a Difference Day. It's also the day that they're going to be doing the, or we're going to be doing the dedication of the sculpture park. For naming after former Mayor Welch. That's at 3 p.m. And we'll be at the sculpture park there at Gore and Kirkham. Same day as Make a Difference Day. So pull some honeysuckle and come have a little celebration.
What time does Make a Difference Day? It's different times, if you just go on the website, I kind of staggered it, so.
David's not here, so no update from him. Last thing is agenda for November. November will be our we don't meet in December, so it will be our final meeting of the calendar year. So our residual thing is to talk about normal April. What other pressing or topics do you want on the agenda for next?
Drop the whole video.
Yeah, you and I need to pick that up.
You know, I don't know what you want to do with that, but I mean, it'd be kind of good to get that.
I'd like to get it done before any
Maybe
of you.
before our next meeting or next, you know, we do
Yeah.
that. We were working on a little video for the, I don't know, April.
And part of it was to, as a group, come up with an elevator talk for people about normal April based on the letter responding to my letter. That, I mean, even said it would lower your property value. I'm not sure that mowing for the month of April would have any impact on the property value. But we wanna take the high road and what happens.
So
So
can I just mention one thing? I participated in the electric EV fair, which was last Saturday before that. John Hickey and the Sustain, and that was a really good event. I brought like Leaf, I brought that, there were maybe 20 so electric EVs there. Ranging, the city has two,
Electric
the
buses.
police department has some EVs. It was fun, and or Arnold came. There were a bunch of people there, it was good.
I sent out the video.
Yeah, that was good, the video was cool. So, right, you know, so John Hickey was the organizer, he did a good job with that.
I wanna add, I know that Clean Our Cities is not really happening this fall, but I thought we were gonna be doing like educational stuff, like getting it out there, so. I don't know if that needs to be added to the agenda or.
Well, I mean, we will need to start planning for next year if, you know, they plans way out, so. They used to.
I agree with maybe our subcommittee probably needs to get together.
Can I ask one more question? So whatever happened to the watershed when we're gonna delineate the watersheds and have signs for the watersheds?
It's Saddam's working on that in Public Works.
Okay.
So Green Earth Cities is Ginger, Teresa, and Laura. So if you guys wanna maybe talk and next month, I'll put you on the agenda.
Sounds good.
And I'll add Eco Ed. And we'll get together on Eco Ed group, myself, Lori, and Jim.
And you'll put trees of distinction on there, 'cause I wanna make sure that we're getting it publicized. Not to your money.
I'm new.
Yeah.
So,
Understand.
Are you on that? Are you on that?
It's okay, I, like, you don't really, yeah. If it gets closer, yeah, yeah. Unless you can think of a marketing.
We need to adjourn. We need to adjourn.
Or you know, just for how your friends,
I
the
move we
other
adjourn.
members to take pictures.
Okay, to adjourn. You're
Go on, second that.
Definitely,
Thank you,
yeah.
Emily.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.